The feeling of peace was shattered when Lydia, his neighbor, rolled in with her flashy RV, eager to film a reality show about rural living. Her arrival marked the beginning of an unexpected invasion, as cameras and crew members descended upon the once quiet ranch. In the heart of Nebraska, where golden fields stretch endlessly under a vast blue sky, a calm rancher named Jake tended to his land, embodying the spirit of rural life. His days were filled with the rhythmic sounds of nature, the gentle rustle of the wind through the grass, and the occasional lowing of cattle. Jake found himself grappling with the intrusion, torn between his love for his land and the encroaching urban lifestyle that Lydia represented. The clash of property rights became evident as tensions rose, highlighting the struggle between preserving the simplicity of rural life and the allure of modern entertainment. As Jake stepped out of his barn, the serene beauty of his Nebraska ranch enveloped him, but that peace was abruptly shattered. His gaze fell upon an unexpected sight. Lydia's RV parked squarely in his pasture, a garish intrusion amidst the rolling hills. Shock coursed through him as he approached, his heart racing at the absurdity of the scene. Inflatable pelicans bobbed in the breeze, their bright colors clashing violently with the earthy tones of his land. A makeshift party setup sprawled across the grass, complete with colorful streamers and a table laden with snacks, all seemingly mocking the tranquility he cherished. Frustration bubbled within him. This was his private sanctuary, now transformed into a chaotic spectacle. The contrast was stark. His quiet ranch life, marked by the gentle sounds of nature, stood in sharp opposition to the raucous atmosphere Lydia had created. In that moment, Jake felt the weight of invasion, his peaceful existence threatened by the encroaching chaos of urban revelry. Jake stormed toward Lydia, his anger simmering just beneath the surface as he approached her RV, the broken fence behind it a glaring reminder of her disregard for his property. "What do you think you're doing?" he demanded, his voice steady but laced with frustration. Lydia, lounging casually in a folding chair, barely looked up. "Just having a little fun, Jake. It's not a big deal," she replied dismissively, her carefree attitude infuriating him further. "Not a big deal. You've damaged my fence and turned my pasture into a circus," he shot back, feeling a deep sense of violation. The tension crackled between them, a palpable clash of ideals. Jake stood firm, embodying the values of land rights and respect for boundaries, while Lydia shrugged off his concerns, insisting her reality show would bring attention to rural life. Their opposing views on property and personal space ignited a fierce confrontation, leaving Jake grappling with the reality of his disrupted world and the encroaching chaos Lydia represented. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the pasture, Jake's frustration reached a boiling point. Lydia continued her party, laughter and music spilling from her RV, completely disregarding his protests. He paced back and forth, feeling the weight of his helplessness. Finally, he pulled out his phone and dialed Sheriff Dan, hoping for some semblance of order. Sheriff Dan, a local fixture known for his calm demeanor, arrived shortly after, his presence a small comfort amidst the chaos. "What seems to be the problem, Jake?" he asked, surveying the scene. Jake explained the situation, his voice tinged with exasperation. "She's trespassing and ruining my property," he exclaimed. Sheriff Dan nodded, but his expression turned serious as he explained the limitations of local laws regarding trespassing. "Unfortunately, unless she's causing significant damage or refuses to leave, there's not much I can do," he said, leaving Jake feeling even more frustrated as he realized the legal system offered little protection against Lydia's invasion. As the raucous sounds of Lydia's party echoed across the pasture, Jake's cows began to react with evident stress and confusion. Their usual calm demeanor was shattered. They bellowed uneasily, shifting restlessly in their pens, eyes wide with alarm at the unfamiliar noise. The blaring music and laughter pierced the serene atmosphere of the ranch, sending the cattle into a frenzy. Jake watched helplessly, his heart sinking as he noticed their agitation. These cows were more than just livestock. They symbolized his deep connection to the land he had nurtured for years. Concern for their well-being gnawed at him, and he felt a surge of protectiveness. He knew that the chaos could disrupt their feeding and routine, potentially affecting their health. As he moved closer to the herd, he whispered soothing words, trying to calm them amidst the turmoil. In that moment, the cows embodied the essence of his ranching life, and he felt the weight of Lydia's invasion, not just as a personal affront, but as a threat to the very heart of his livelihood. Determined to reclaim her land, Jake devised a clever plan that would turn the tables on Lydia. He knew his cows couldn't resist the allure of molasses-laced grain, a treat that would draw them in like a magnet. With a sense of purpose, he filled a bucket with the sweet mixture and strategically placed it near the edge of the pasture, just within sight of Lydia's RV. As the enticing aroma wafted through the air, he watched with bated breath, knowing that nature had a way of reclaiming what was rightfully hers. The cows, drawn by the irresistible scent, began to wander toward the bucket, their curiosity piqued. Anticipation built within Jake as he envisioned the impending chaos that would ensue when the herd reached the RV. The poetic justice of the moment was not lost on him. Lydia's party, which had disrupted his peaceful existence, would soon be met with the very essence of ranch life. As the cows approached, he could almost hear the rumble of hooves and the lowing of cattle, ready to reclaim their space and restore balance to his beloved land. As the cows ambled toward Lydia's RV, the atmosphere shifted from festive to frantic. Lydia and her guests, mid-laughter, suddenly froze, eyes wide with disbelief as the herd approached, their curiosity piqued by the colorful decorations and the lingering scent of snacks. Panic erupted among the partygoers. Drinks spilled and chairs toppled as they scrambled to escape the impending invasion. The cows, oblivious to the chaos they were causing, began to graze contentedly on the grass, some nudging the RV with their noses, intrigued by the strange contraption. Lydia, however, was anything but calm. "Oh my gosh, get the cameras!" she shrieked, her voice rising above the commotion. She fumbled with her phone, desperately trying to document the absurdity unfolding before her. "This is going to go viral," she exclaimed, her over-the-top reactions only adding to the hilarity of the scene. As the cows continued their exploration, munching on streamers and bumping into coolers, Jake couldn't help but chuckle at the sight, reveling in the delightful chaos that had turned Lydia's party into a comedic spectacle. In the aftermath of the cow invasion, the scene was a mix of laughter and chaos, drawing the attention of local authorities. Animal control arrived first, their truck rumbling down the dirt road, followed closely by Sheriff Dan, who surveyed the situation with a bemused expression. The community had quickly caught wind of Lydia's antics, and whispers of the incident spread like wildfire. Neighbors gathered, some chuckling at the spectacle, while others expressed their support for Jake, recognizing the violation of his land. "You can't just set up a party in someone else's pasture," one neighbor exclaimed, rallying behind the rancher. Just then, the zoning inspector arrived, clipboard in hand, ready to assess the legal implications of Lydia's actions. He noted the lack of permits for her reality show and the disturbance caused by her party. As the inspector began to outline potential consequences, Jake felt a sense of vindication. The community stood united, ready to defend the sanctity of rural life against the encroaching chaos that Lydia had brought to their doorstep. The climax of the conflict erupted as Lydia's RV faced unexpected challenges from the environment. A sudden gust of wind whipped through the pasture, sending colorful streamers flapping wildly and rattling the RV. Just as chaos ensued, a nearby tree branch snapped, crashing down onto the roof of her vehicle with a resounding thud. Lydia's eyes widened in horror as she rushed outside, her earlier bravado replaced by panic. Amidst the unfolding disaster, Jake remained remarkably calm, observing the scene with a steady gaze. He knew this was the moment to assert his rights. As local authorities moved in, Sheriff Dan and the zoning inspector stepped forward, ready to enforce property rights. "Lydia, you can't just take over someone else's land," Sheriff Dan stated firmly, his voice cutting through the chaos. With the support of the community and the backing of the law, Jake felt a sense of resolution wash over him. The conflict had reached its peak, and now with the authorities intervening, he could finally reclaim his land and restore peace to his beloved ranch. Jake's story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for one's rights in the face of adversity. His determination to protect his land against Lydia's chaotic invasion highlighted the significance of property rights, especially in a world where urban encroachment often threatens rural life. The conflict underscored the delicate balance between community and individual property, prompting viewers to reflect on how these dynamics shape their own lives. Jake's resilience in the face of disruption not only reclaimed his sanctuary, but also rallied the support of his neighbors, showcasing the strength found in unity. If you found inspiration in Jake's journey in the pursuit of justice, subscribe for more stories that celebrate resilience and the fight for what is right.